Welcome to Zero Hit Points, everybody. It's the Wednesday, August 19th. It's a warm me. Need to warm me before we go realsies.
Yeah, you never want to go dry. You always want to moisturize.
Unless I put this whole thing in.
I don't know what you're doing right now. I'm not looking.
Welcome to Zero Hit Points, everybody. It's Wednesday, August 9th. I'm Ryan Miller. Matt Amberg.
I think what you were trying to say was boogity 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 boo.
That's it. Thank you. Well, you know, when you get to a level like between people where you don't need words.
Yeah, it's a shorthand.
Yeah. Usually that means people communicate like with eyes and stuff. It just means that we're literally yelling nonsense syllables at each other.
Do you think people who are missing a hand or missing fingers on their hand get annoyed when people are like, hey, this is shorthand for something? And they're like, hey, and then they hold up their like stump or they're like, what do you mean?
Definitely.
Cool.
What are you trying to say? I'm really good at communicating. Look at all my missing fingers.
Yeah, I'm very safe to be around.
What about like people that sign language with missing fingers? Like, is the other person just like, what?
Oh man, that's actually an interesting question. I've never considered that.
Is it a speech impediment?
Say
it again.
Are you stuttering? I don't know. You're missing. You seem to be dropping.
No, you're cutting out.
There seems to be some network disconnection issues. We've got some latency.
This is a bad, probably. We joke because we love. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Also, most of the time we don't. We jokes are bad, so whatever. Win-win.
And nobody loves us. I don't know. I don't know what we're saying.
No. That's usually how these begin.
They always do, with not knowing what to say.
And then we transition into stuff that we know that we have just thoroughly prepared.
Yes, breadths of knowledge of information that we wish to share. Mm-hmm.
Boy.
Here. I watched stuff on the television this week. How's that?
I thought you were going to say pretty good television.
Yeah, I watched some pretty good television actually.
Oh, okay.
Good. Yeah.
Right. That's fine.
Yeah, we started American Gods.
The NetherRealm game.
Very close, similar in no respects. It is a television program made by the Stars Company, based on Neil Gaiman's book titled American Gods.
Okay. It's got to be good.
Does it? Okay. That's cool. It's good.
It's the Gay Man. The Gay Man does the best stuff.
So
Mirror Mask.
I love Mirror Mask. I'm a big fan of that. I have never been a huge fan of Sandman. I'm not a huge fan of his writing. I've tried to read multiple books of his, and there's something about his writing that I just don't like. I never get engaged with his books. I have a really hard time with them. And Sandman was a comic I tried. Just, again, it didn't click for me for what I don't know why. I don't know. Maybe I was...
Like, how long ago are we talking? Because it never clicked for me, but I was like 8 or however old I was.
Oh, Beth is super into Sandman, so I've picked stuff up, and she grabbed the most recent stuff recently when we were out at a comic book shop.
Is Sandman still going?
Yeah, there's some new stuff that Gaiman's putting out for it. But she bought the trades and stuff for it. I read through it, and it just... It just doesn't do anything for me.
That's fine.
So American Gods was a book that I got maybe halfway through it, and I was like, I'm done with this. It's just this. I don't like it. But as far as like a story goes, and the way it's being portrayed on TV, we're only one episode in. But really good. Like, you got a great cast. Way more interesting than the book. I'm still not like super drawn into it, but Beth really likes it. She thinks it's really, really good. And like all the characters are fine. Like everybody's acting is good. I like the characters as they're being portrayed. The way it's being filmed, it's great. It looks good, really good. It's really
What's
good.
What's the premise? I have no idea.
The premise of American Gods is essentially that there's an ex-con named Shadow Moon who's been released and is trying to get home to he was released early, trying to get home to his wife who was killed in a car accident that he later finds out was killed while cheating on him in the car, and the Cheater was also killed with her. So
were they driving at the time?
They were, which means she was only doing one thing. Well, I mean, I guess it could be the chase, but
accidents, that's, lesson learned.
Yeah. Well, I mean, look, when you're sitting behind somebody and you're putting, hands over their eyes, that's sexy.
Yes, they were doing the guess who.
But not smart
Guess
to
who?
do. Yeah, but not smart to do while you're driving. And then he's met by after trying to figure out how to get home to get to the funeral, he ends up getting put onto a plane with a guy named that goes by Mr. Wednesday, and that's played by Al Swearingen, whose name I can't remember right now.
It's not Al Swearingen?
It's not Al Swearingen. His name is... He's really famous.
Jeffrey Dahmer. John Berenger.
And now I'm just annoyed by it. Ian McShane. Okay.
Gaiman.
So he's on a plane with a guy who goes by Mr. Wednesday, played by Ian McShane. Does
Ian McShane ever have a first name in any of his roles?
Yes. Al Swearingen is his name.
Oh, okay.
That's the only movie, though. Every other movie he's ever done, just a last name, or
it's always like
a title.
Friday.
Yeah.
Black Man. No, actually, that probably wasn't one.
Well, he could have had that. It's possible. I mean,
he's very tan.
It depends on the movie. He's a very tan gentleman. I mean, it's tan gentleman. Tanman.
Leathery.
He's definitely he looks like he's spent a lot of time in Arizona. But so he's on the plane and he chats with Shadow Moon and basically says, "Hey, I got a job if you want it. You don't have to do a ton. You just gotta hang out with me." Some things happen, and he finally meets up. Shadow meets up with Wednesday and says, "All right, here's the deal. I'll do this." And in the process, he meets yet another guy named Mad Sweeney. And so what they haven't told you yet is that, and it's kind of a hard thing to talk about without revealing stuff, but the essential idea here is a lot of people know who Mr. Wednesday is, and they want to know what he's doing. Our hero has no clue who Mr. Wednesday is or what he's going to be doing other than kind of playing a bodyguard. And so we're kind of left in a spot where Shadow Moon has met a leprechaun, or a guy who calls himself a leprechaun, who's a giant leprechaun too, taller than Shadow Moon, like 6 foot something, named Matt Sweeney. I'm going to say
maybe not a leprechaun.
He's you'll be wrong.
Okay.
He's definitely a leprechaun.
It's usually a size thing.
He mentions that. It's the first thing out of his mouth. He's like, it's an ugly stereotype. But he
walked right into that one.
He does a whole mess of tricks with gold coins, and so you're kind of meant to think, and he's Mad Sweeney. He's got bright red hair. He's supposed to be Irish. He's got an Irish accent. And then so Sweeney tells him, be very careful with what you're doing with Wednesday, because Wednesday hasn't even told you who he actually is. He tells you right away. Sweeney says he's not who he says he is.
Is this like, I mean, I know Gaiman's style is very kind of magical realist type, but is this taking place in the real world basically, and everybody has funny names? Or is it like totally fantastic?
No, it takes place in the real world. It's not the way that it takes place and the way these characters exist. They don't exist. It's another thing. I can't explain it to you until the show. You're never going to watch the show, so I guess I can spoil it for you. Here's the main spoiler for American Gods.
Okay.
The whole concept of this book is that the old gods have all been forgotten and are dying, and the new gods are taking their place. The new gods don't want the old gods back. The old gods definitely don't want to be forgotten. That's the thrust.
Okay.
Now, where it changes and where things go is who the old gods are, who the new gods are, and at the very end, you do meet somebody in a very fantastical way where there's like this it looks like kind of the ball from Flight of the Navigator or something is like crashed on the floor, and Shadow sees it, and then it suddenly jumps onto his head, and it's like a virtual reality helmet. Then he's sitting in the back of a car with a guy who's called I think his name is Technical Boy, and he smokes synthetic toad skins and is very, very interested in knowing what Mr. Wednesday is up to. So
is Mr. Wednesday an old or a new god?
Mr. Wednesday is almost certainly an old god.
I was going to say, if we're getting Ian McShane, you probably want to make him an old thing of whatever
he's an old god, as is Mad Sweeney. The leprechaun is an old god. Technical Boy, a new god. So it toys with the idea of what we believe, what we know, and it
does sound pretty interesting, actually.
As a story, it's fantastic. I just couldn't get into the book. Like, it just not my style. So first episode down, very good. Gonna continue watching it. I think there's only like 7 more to go in the first season, so we'll see how that turns out.
Cool.
And then we watched Colossal, the Anne Hathaway, Jason Sudeikis movie. Came out last year, directed by Nacho Vigalondo, who also directed
the one where
The Amazing Time Crimes. Nacho Vigalondo directed a movie called Time Crimes, which is fantastic. He also directed and wrote this movie, and this is the movie where she is a monster, but not exactly, but is.
So is this the one, like, I've seen stills from a movie where, like, the story that's being told is that after all the backlash after she was a good actress or whatever,
no,
Anne Hathaway, she made a movie that was supposedly playing on that, where she is kind of something of a bad guy, or
no, this is not that.
No.
I don't know what you're talking about.
Is she wearing a green jacket sometimes?
She might have a green jacket on. I don't really remember her wardrobe. It wasn't integral to the plot.
So how was it?
Freaking, you gotta watch it. This is
really?
one that goes straight up into your, man, this movie was tremendous.
Okay.
It's got a brilliant idea around it, and the way that it kind of turns into how it works is fantastic. Vigalondo does something really, really kind of, I think, special and unique with Jason Sudeikis. Something you don't see out of Sudeikis, and I love it. It's very, very cool. The kind of plot of this one is 25 some years ago, in the middle of Seoul, Korea, out of nowhere, a monster like apparated. It appeared. It was just like, you see it appear. It like, there's lightning, and then it kind of like goes and it materializes. That's all. It just destroyed some stuff. 25 years in the future, we're introduced to Anne Hathaway, who's drunk, coming home the next day to her boyfriend, and then giving him the excuse as to why. And he's like, you know what? I'm done with this. You're drunk. Get out of my life. She goes back home, and
he's not like, you're a monster.
He doesn't actually say that. Over. And it kills me that nobody ever calls her that. Like missed opportunities, folks. So basically, she goes back to this park and finds out, like, she goes back home and finds out that in certain situations, this monster materializes in Seoul, Korea again, just out of nowhere when she goes back home, and starts hurting. It starts doing monster things. It's destroying stuff.
Is it a leprechaun?
It's not. It's a giant monster. It's not a 6'6" leprechaun. I don't really want to give you much more than that, because rest, how it all fits together, and then and where it goes is great. Fantastic little short bit by Tim Blake Nelson pops up in there.
Hey, all right.
And but your main characters here are you're focused. Most of the film is really around Anne Hathaway and Jason Sudeikis, and they're great. Like, those two, the way they play off each other and the way it's built, it's really good, man. It's Colossal. Check it out.
Does Hathaway, like, I'm not, like, the whole whatever thing I did read about a backlash against her or whatever, I'm not necessarily in that camp, but I've never been a huge fan in so much that, like, her Les Mis performance was actually, I think,
probably one of her best.
It's pretty amazing to watch. Like, even if whatever, you know. But I have also kind of never latched on to her. Like, she's very much a Rachel McAdams to me.
Sure.
Like, everything she does very much looks like she's acting. Like she's.
Man, I totally agree with you.
It looks like it.
I
can tell.
I'm with you.
Is she transcend that
here
a little bit?
Yeah. No. This
cool.
one, like, it doesn't feel like, because I have the same issue with her. I'm not a huge fan of her as an actor. Like, I just don't. I like Rachel McAdams more than her.
Okay, all right.
So there's that, but I have a similar issue, and in this, I think she does transcend that. I think she is a step past
Sweet.
where she was. It's a good movie, man.
Looking forward to it.
And that's me, man. That's what I got this week.
Dude, I did a not movie thing.
Ugh, that doesn't sound like fun.
Boy, though, it was kind of close. I went to see the local production of Newsies, actually.
Did Christian Bale get angry and yell at the director or the cinematographer or whatever?
I mean, yeah, like wherever he is, yeah, obviously. But
He's like watching it on YouTube, pounding out just an angry comment. You!
This is not my news, not my Newsies. Hashtag. No, I've never seen the Broadway production of Newsies, so I don't know. I didn't know of any of the differences. I'm a huge fan, so it was kind of, I was going to enjoy this no matter what. And I totally did. It was fantastic, super amazing fun. The local troupe is pretty good too, actually. It's called PCPA. And they do good stuff. They're I think I talked about Beauty and the Beast a little bit.
Yeah.
I saw that last year.
Yeah.
Yeah, same people. In fact, literally, I noticed two of the same people.
Sure. Well, small troops like that, they're always run by one or two people that like they've
sense.
got a rotating group of people that kind of stick around, and then they'll have some new people come in, and every once in a while somebody takes off. But a lot of those troops. I mean, I did one when I was in Washington, and it was the same group for the majority of the shows year after year.
Gotcha. Okay. Yeah, I mean, they do a great job. Like really tons of fun. Like some of the New York accent seemed a little like they were working real hard at it.
How you doing? How you doing? How you doing? Hey, forget about it.
But they actually make some changes to the story that I thought were actually super smart that I didn't know they did. Like they make Bill Pullman's character the love interest, which I mean I guess technically isn't a change for me, but they make that role a woman, and then that becomes Jack's love interest, and they have a back and forth, and then she actually ends up being Pulitzer's daughter in the end. There's a reveal kind of there.
All right, fair enough.
But it works. I mean, it makes perfect sense for a play. I mean, that the Jack's love interest in the movie is completely underdeveloped. He's kind of just the other kid's sister.
Sure.
They have maybe two scenes together.
I don't remember Newsies very well. I've seen it. It's one of the my main memory of Newsies at this point is every time I see Sliptide, Sean, he or his kid, one of them always seems to have a flat cap on. I just ask him,
and that's
what's the story?
Newsies.
Are you ready to deliver? Because I'm ready.
No. It's super good, super amazing. Yeah, you gotta watch that movie again. Then
I should.
Put that on your list.
It was totally a movie I enjoyed too when I was younger. So
I enjoy it. It was a good production. It was a lot of fun.
Nice. That's awesome.
But I did still watch some movies. So here you go. Ready?
You watched some Newsies?
I wish. That's what I probably should have done. Should have just gone home and watched movies. I watched the Tomb Raider movies. So when my wife was on the way home from Idaho with the kids, they stayed in a hotel. And at one point I talked to them before they were going to bed. And my daughter's like, Dad, can you download Tomb Raider for me? Because it came on in the hotel and she saw like 5 minutes of it. And then like,
you know what? You all right, that's fair. You kind of got to go with that. She asks nice, and at least the bonus here is that she doesn't have to see Sean Bean get decapitated.
Well, I tried to do the thing. Have you ever seen the Disney cartoon where Huey, Dewey, and Louie buy the cigars for Donald Duck, and he thinks they bought them for himself? So he forces them to smoke them all until they get sick.
Yes. So
I tried to do that to her, and I downloaded both the Tomb Raider movies. I was like, fine, you want to watch a Tomb Raider? You're going to watch both of them until you're sick. Yeah. It didn't really work.
She loved it.
But she did. The first movie is serviceable. Like and I'll talk about them in comparison with each other. Like it's got a lower budget. Like the second movie's more technically impressive. Like they
had money. Period.
They had money.
They had more money.
Period, yeah.
I mean, that's...
And the first movie, even there's like a part in the middle that I'll say is good, where it's when they first kind of start doing the magic and they have the pieces and all the statues come to life. And there's like a little bit, like there's some platforming.
Yep.
Like she literally does some platforming, and then she kind of uses that in a puzzly way to defeat the boss. Like it kind of actually worked out for me. I thought it was actually a good scene.
I know exactly what you're talking about. Yeah.
Yeah. The rest of it, kind of whatever. It's
a lot of story for something we just want to see action on.
Watchable at best, yeah, really. But the first one I'd still say is better. The second one, for looking better, is just a complete like wet blanket of an ending. Like it just peters out and gets weird and magical in a way that isn't necessarily followable. Like they go to it's the whole Cradle of Life thing. Like after some monsters show up, and then this is the Cradle of Life. That's why. And then they go to that, and it's like an MC Escher thing, but it's all rocks.
Right.
It's,
I remember the second one did not stick with me as much. I think I've only seen that one 5 times.
Yeah. So what if I just tell you I saw a good movie and it's called Cop Car?
Oh man. Okay. It's on the list. It's been there forever. Really want to watch it. Love the Baconator. And
it's John Watts, I think. I remember his name now. Is that right?
The guy
he did Spider-Man Homecoming. So yeah, if we talked about that, I wanted to go back. It totally has the DNA. Like it's a really small scale movie. Like it's super simple. It's laconic.
I don't even know what that word means.
It's very sparse in what it communicates. Not a lot of words, not a lot of lines. The story on its face is these kids that are running away and run into a cop car. But telling you the story tells you next to nothing about what that movie is.
Right.
And it's super properly named. Like it's Cop Car. Like I'm not gonna say like the cop car is a character in the movie. Like somebody might say that. It's more of an anchor. It's the stuff they do and why it's called Cop Car, and
the cop car's the MacGuffin.
Yeah,
I mean it kind of is like right.
Okay.
It kind of it's the reason that things happen, but it's not like it's why it starts, but it's not.
Yeah, I'll go with that.
Fair enough. All right. I'm looking forward to seeing it because that's like I said, it's been on my list for a while, and I remember it getting just tons of great reviews.
It's good. Like it's super simple. Like it's very, there's lots of silence, lots of long shots, but it's all done very effectively. And so when that stuff isn't that, when there is some action, even though again, I don't want to say it's drug out, like it is, but it's done well. Like single things take several minutes to happen, and it builds to a point that is still like if on paper nothing happens, like you read this thing on paper, you're like, no,
it's like a 14-page script. There's like no words
seriously,
to it.
You're like, why are they taking so long to do this? But they do it right. It's good, yeah, and it is so small scale that it totally makes sense that he would go on, that he would be chosen to make Spider-Man Homecoming.
Nice.
To tone that down as well. It's cool. It's good.
Right on.
The ending is freaking amazing too. Like it ends perfectly.
Awesome.
That's it though. That's all we did. We're recording even a day earlier than normal. It's Monday. Should we just say it?
I think you just did.
Okay. That's fair.
Yeah.
So anything that happened on Tuesday, man, don't.
It was good.
It was crazy.
I can't believe you missed it.
We'll talk about it
next week.
Later. Yeah.
Yeah, if you're lucky.
We can talk about games though. That's timeless. That never changes. It's going to be
just
as interesting.
Over the Friday through Sunday, and I'm not really sure why.
Well, you like Paragon.
Yeah, it just but it's a MOBA, so it ran into that whole thing where I just didn't want to spend time with it, and for some reason I do now. I don't know.
Okay. All right. Okay.
I think I'm just very excited to have my PC back, so I'm grabbing at things that are there. But I've spent a whole bunch of time playing it, and then this Friday through Sunday was Epic put on the Paragon exhibition tournament, their PEX 2017. It was their first time ever putting on a tournament like this ever, running it from their studio in North Carolina. They brought teams out. They had Agora Rising, I think, is what the original thing was called, where the qualifying, where all the teams got together, they played each other in their local areas, did it, and then they got the top 8 got brought to North Carolina to do this thing, and it was really cool. It was they had it was set up just like all the other esports stuff, where you kind of had somebody moderating everything, and then you had some people on color commentators and
calling it.
Calling it and stuff, and going over replays and kind of just discussing stuff. They did a great job for their first event like this, and
cool.
Congrats to Think Twice EU. They won the whole shebang.
Right.
What I found interesting about this was that the first two games, Friday and Saturday, were both based around kind of what Paragon currently is. And I didn't get to actually see all of Sunday, so I don't know if I just caught it late. But it looked like the final game was actually using the V42 update that's coming tomorrow. Or coming, I'm sorry. Or it looks like they're using the V42 update that came out on Tuesday. And this is a huge update.
Yesterday.
Yeah, yesterday. The Tuesday, not tomorrow. And this is a huge update. They're changing the entire game significantly. And I kind of mentioned this before, but
yeah.
They're kind of changing out how decks are built. So you're no longer building a deck for a specific character. You're kind of building universal decks because the heroes now are more based on it's more based on characters have affinities, things that they like that certain cards are going to be better or more useful for that affinity. They'll get more out of it, because they're,
Gotcha.
Whatever, they're more knowledgeable. So they want knowledge cards and
building decks for affinities rather than characters.
Yeah.
Okay.
And in doing so, they've also significantly changed how the decks work. So they're no longer, you're not like upgrading cards the same way. You have less cards on your face, but you have more ability with it. There are now your levels also going to go higher. So while you're playing the game, as you play through MOBAs, you level, and that's how you gain more abilities. In this, the levels are going to keep going. You will stop gaining ability points, but you'll gain passives. So more speed, more health build, whatever, depending on the characters, all that stuff. Huh. So huge changes. Like this is a very different game than what it was. The game that's coming will be a very different game than what was out just last week, completely. So,
and they brought this into the exhibition.
It looks like
people were competing with this.
Looks the very last game. It looks like they got to either. I don't know if that was the deciding game, but they got to play with it in the very last game. So
okay. Well, that would make more sense if they just brought it in, like to kind of check it out or promo it maybe a little bit. Like it seems weird to me that they would introduce it into a competitive space at any point, really, unless I guess they've released it early for all these teams if they've been playing for it.
Which they very well may have given them time with it.
Gotcha.
I don't know. But
it's okay.
It's a significant change. So I'm really looking forward to seeing, because this is going to be, again, almost going back to the beginning, where I'll be able to kind of get in early on where not everything is quite known. So it's cool. I'm excited for it. Continuing on with the epic tilt, I played some Fortnite this week, and we did a Fortnite stream on Friday.
I watched you play some Fortnite.
Dished out a free copy of the game. If you weren't there, you missed out. There might be more coming. Well, who knows?
Aww.
I like that game a lot. It
looks gorgeous.
It's a beautiful game, man.
It looks really good.
I really like the game. It's a really good looking game. I like the conceit of it. The kind of everybody in the world is dead except for these few people, and you build a fort, save your storm shield so that you can weather the storm, so to speak. I have heard and read numerous people are not thrilled with some of the progression, and that the fact that you do there's a point where maybe you do get to a point where it's kind of there's nothing out left to do, or
you kind of hit a cap, and it's just
and it just becomes
have fun playing or grinding or
a little bit. I
enjoy the loop.
I don't know. I haven't gotten that far. They're clearly still supporting it. It's going to take me a while probably to get to that point. But for right now, it's fun, man. The building.
I love the thought that those complaints are coming from people that probably played it for 72 hours straight right after it came out.
Very likely, in some cases, very likely. And then in other cases, the people have been playing it for 6-8 months straight, and then going, "Hey, what's going on?"
It's been out forever, I guess. Yeah, all right.
Well, right, but it was always a beta alpha thing. They do some pretty great things in it, though, man. Like the gunplay feels good to me. I like that. The melee attacks feel fine. I think the building it's very intuitive. I'm slow at it because I'm not. I don't use a lot of the F1 through F9 keys, and this uses those a lot. So I have to get used to that stretch or rebind stuff, I guess.
Do you even PC game?
Not, I'm only as much as Adam. I don't PC game. Parkin does. What's a PC? The overall gameplay, okay. The loop is fine. I like the loop. I can see how that could get very, very frustrating and could easily get dull. And I think in some ways, this game, part of the allure or the thrust of this game might actually be, we know that there's kind of a minimal loop, but the point is to build your bases up and maybe, I don't know. But this might be one of those games where one of the thoughts here is we're going to give you a good chunk of gameplay, but now do it on your own. Make your own fun. Build your sandcastle, kind of Minecraftian without...
I've actually heard that about it. Yeah, because didn't they... Like the enemies don't start coming until everybody says go, right? You can spend time in that space as long as you want. Is that right?
As far as I can tell, but I'm not sure. I haven't I've gone and I think I've activated the thing every time. I need to spend more time. Time does progress though. It gets darker and night comes, and I think at a certain point it does just click over on its own. I don't think you can sit there forever. But okay. I think you do get
I've heard that it gives you kind of longer than normal amount of time for a game like this, so that you do kind of end up world building in a strange way, I've heard.
Yeah, well, I mean, and you kind of saw the intro bits that I was playing. It was a little past the intro, but they were still telling you, go here. They're going to come from the east in this case. Build a wall, build your things. And so I ran around. I built up walls. I went, oh no, I need a wall. I need a door here. Add the wall or add the door. And I want to get up top so I can look down and shoot at guys. So I'm going to build up top. And as I was playing it, I kept seeing, oh man, okay, so if I build this out further, I guess I could go up here and I could do a whole nother thing like that. That would be cool. And I have this huge tower, but there's no reason to at this point. Anyways, it was cool.
Or is there?
There definitely is. I like it, man. I think it's fun. I like the loop. I like the quote unquote grind I'm getting out of it. It's fine so far. We'll keep playing it. I'm gonna try and keep up Fortnite Fridays, do some hour or two stream of it, and just come and hang out, play. We'll do whatever. Okay. Good. And then also this week played a whole bunch of PUBG, Playerunknown's Battlegrounds. Streamed that on Thursday night, actually.
I think I caught some of you. Oh, that's right, because I ruined the stream last week. Sorry, everybody.
Yep, streamed on Thursday. I also streamed earlier in the week with our boys at the Damn Woods. Thanks for coming playing. We had a good time. It was fun. That game is just fun.
Any kills?
We did get kills. We did.
See?
We actually both. Funny enough, so Jake from the Damn Woods, he and I played quite a while by ourselves, and I don't think I was streaming at this point. It might have been. I'm not sure. I'd have to go back and look. But at one point, one game, he got taken out by a dude, just dropped. It wasn't killed, but he was dropped.
Oh, there's revivals?
Yeah.
You go down, but no, I didn't know that actually.
Yeah. Revived him, came back, we both died immediately. Very next game, exact same thing happens in reverse, where I get taken down, some dudes just jumped us, and Jake was behind a door, and he kills the one dude, and then the dude's he's hanging outside the door, right next to my body, where I was still alive. He didn't kill me for some reason. And so I'm sitting there telling Jake, I'm like, Jake, dude's right outside the door. And Jake's like, I'm loading my shotgun. Guy comes around the corner, just one shotgun blast, dead.
Nice.
It was fun, man.
There's your kill.
Yeah, and then we died. I think our best, we made it down to 14th left over overall.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, that game is never going to be a game I care about anything in particular with it. I'm never going to be aiming for anything in particular. I'm never going to be going for
that seems like a bad way to do it. Play. I mean, I guess you're playing to do well, but I think if you're playing to get first place, you'll be disappointed 99% of the time.
Yes.
If not forever.
This game is totally 100%. I love it. This is another game where that loop, I don't mind the games where I die right away. I don't mind the games that go 20 minutes long. I don't kill anybody. In fact, I may never see anybody, but it's tense. It's fun because you're running around. You're hearing gunshots. You're hearing cars going. You're looking for the freaking artillery fire. Like, it's a really good game, man.
Even just the like little bit I tuned in, like I saw you like go to a shack and like find stuff in the shack. I'm like, oh, he got some stuff. Like just that little bit, that little act of going and trying to get your load out at the very beginning, you know. Like,
it's the best, man. And then we go around searching for things. You know, we're helmet bros, so we're looking for helmets. Looking for awesome face masks and stuff. It's cool. I like it. It's a good game.
I've heard that.
Yeah. So I would recommend playing that and also playing that.
All right.
Yeah.
Cool.
And that's all I got this week.
Dude, that's enough.
Fair enough.
What if Tailspin, Disney Afternoon Collection? I made it to Tailspin.
Nice. How was that?
Have you tried that one yet?
I don't remember playing it because that was a cartoon I didn't ever love.
Did. Oh, really?
Yeah,
I was into it.
Tailspin was one I didn't connect with. Like that was, I think it came just a little too late for me or something, or it was too, I don't know.
I will give you that Tailspin is the first I remember watching a cartoon and thinking I might be too old for this.
Man, maybe that was it. I don't know.
I never played the game though for sure, but it starts off and it's Gradius for babies, or Gradius, I guess.
Oh, cool.
To talk to. Yeah, right. It's a side scroller. It's a shooter. You're flying in a plane and you're shooting. And that was cool. I was like, oh, this is going to be fun. Like I'm down for it because Gradius gets hard as much as I love it, you know, relatively quickly.
Dude.
There's a steep learning curve there.
For sure.
So I was excited to do something like that might have been a little bit easier. And after you complete a level, you have an amount of cash that you spend on upgrades. You're not getting upgrades as you go like Gradius, but it's cool because I thought, hey, I'll save up some money and get these higher upgrades. It took me more games than I want to admit to realize that the game doesn't, or that the money doesn't cross over from level to level. You spend it at the end of the level or you lose it. So I'm like, yeah. So
video games. You just got smashed.
But
in
I
the
figured
face.
it out. And then what happens is, I mean, I guess if you're going to check out where to get the bonus levels and where to get all of the actual money in the level, you can probably get some of those upgrades. I wasn't necessarily doing that just yet. So what ends up happening is that you can buy continues. They're like the second to, you can buy rapid fire, and then I think I got the speed. And then it's really hard to earn up enough money in a single level to get some of the other upgrades. So I ended up getting the gun and the speed, and then the continues cost like 80,000. So it's just continue. Just keep buying those, like 2 of those. So I had like 9 to 12 continues, which was good because then it got hard.
then it becomes Gradius.
Then it becomes Gradius for adults.
No.
It was hard
Pass.
and upsetting and difficult. But I had endless amounts of continues, so I guess I can just continue with my underpowered plane. I got it. And this is all, like, it's got the rewind button everywhere else. This is all on time attack again, so I have to do it semi-legit. Yeah, you know.
Yeah. No, you're playing like a dum-dum. I get it.
That was, frustrating. It was almost the most frustrating experience of the entire collection. Until then, I played Darkwing Duck.
How is that more frustrating? Oh, okay, because I'm using the rewind button and not doing your time attack nonsense.
Have you beat that yet?
No, I have, because every time I do, every time I go to play it, something else is going on. There's
a trick on the final boss that I figured out after I did boss rush. It's gonna improve my life. But man, until you figure that out, that's again very frustrating.
I like that game.
I said diplomatically.
The first 6 missions or so, I had fun with it. I thought it was fine.
It's fun, and with the rewind button is brilliant. Like if they hadn't included that in this thing, like I think we'd be talking about something else right now.
We would not.
It's good that's there.
We would not be having positive convo.
No. But again, I get into the time attack, and I don't know. My patience might just be wearing thin. That's a very possible thing. So whatever, I'll finish that. I'm right in the middle of it. Like literally, my Xbox is paused. This is I rage quit to record a podcast. So
that's cool. We should rage quit the podcast and then smash your Xbox.
fine. No, that I'll reserve for Dance Central, which
hey, how you feeling?
Better. It doesn't hurt as much anymore. It turns out that's the point where I'm at in my life. Like I started to go to the gym actually as well, because I never had to consciously be active to not hurt before.
It's
new to me.
We're about to get old man cast going because I know.
Dude.
I know. I mean, I'm fat, like, so that's my problem.
I did a job for some people where I was digitizing photos. I was bent over this little tiny digit, like $100. It's a Wolverine, actually. It's great.
Snickety snick.
Yeah, it's orange. But I bent over that for so long that I messed up my back, and then it was just this weird like domino effect where I had to figure out a way to sleep, and if I slept a certain way, my lower back healed, and then my upper back literally started to hurt because there was some weird balance thing. And then I clued into the fact that I spent months trying to make myself feel better without doing exercise. And I was like, because it's always worked in the past.
Right.
Not anymore.
Nope.
So I got like a gym membership. I got to like sit in the machine and like do things that hurt for a while.
You know that sitting on the machine doesn't, you actually have to like do what the machine is trying to do.
Now I know. Again, several months later.
Fair enough. You know what? Now you'll be getting the worth out of the membership, the gym membership. I like it. That's good.
But yes, Dance Central, same thing all over again. Very, very painful. Getting better this week because now I've moved enough for long enough that my body's like, oh, I guess he's gonna keep doing this, and it doesn't feel. It's the difficulty curve on that game. It's really weird. Like it's a roller coaster because I had a hard time with like the first 5 songs, and then it's been going pretty smoothly. Like every night I'm getting, maybe another 3 songs done. I'm trying to 5-star them on easy, and then you have to 5 or 100% them on the breakdown mode. But there are points where with any Kinect game, it requires a degree of accuracy that's very annoying. Mm-hmm. Harmonix has done this before. They've done probably the best Kinect games. Like Dance Central is still very good as far as that goes, but there's a point whereas most games have a difficulty curve where they're very much banking on you getting better at certain things as you go. Mm-hmm. This is doing that while kind of disregarding the Kinect in a way. Like it's like, well, the Kinect isn't really up to this, but you can kind of fudge it still. And they've never adjusted maybe correctly. Because if they did, I don't know what that game is, but they kind of make peace with the fact that the Kinect's never going to quite be there, but they're still going to like kind of require that for you. Like eventually you'll kick against it enough, or what I've found myself doing, I'll find the way. I do this with every game though, so whatever. I find the way that I can cheese it enough that it works, that I get a green. I don't get like a flawless, but I get a fine or whatever.
You get good enough.
Yeah, I'm not moving my limbs in the exact way that it's saying, but if I noticed if they are in this position at this point during the move, it'll tick something off and I'll get it. So it goes between like me just being super upset because this is so stupid, and then me cheesing it, and then it kind of working, and then I actually do get better at it. Like the last song I did get to was like a total difficulty spike where they want you to
moonwalk.
No, Thank goodness. Never been able to.
Nobody can.
They want you to jerk, Matthew. It's a type of dance.
Believe me, I am aware of how to jerk. I am a jerk professional. I'm the jerk.
So you'd probably do pretty good at this.
I'm a grilling and jerking master.
It took me a while.
Jerk my chicken.
But then I started to get it. Jamaican jerk chicken's pretty good, actually.
It's real good. Yeah, I miss.
That's fine.
Jerk chicken.
I think this dance might be Jamaican even. I don't know.
I don't know. Do you feel like a jerk when you're doing it?
I do. That's the thing.
That might be what it is.
I feel like there are a lot of jerks involved is the weirdest part. Mm-hmm. Because they're asking me to do things that are very hard. Dance Central. I'm going to keep playing that game.
I'm looking forward to this. I think my prediction is that within the next 5 years, 0HP's own Ryan Miller is going to be on the Paula Abdul comeback tour as a background dancer.
Backup dancing.
Yeah.
Yeah. You can't see the funny thing I did.
Full beard. You're gonna end up taking the spot of the cat from opposites attract the video.
I just like the idea of that happening, but with me not practicing before or using the stuff I've learned just from Dance Central.
That's
it's very ugly and stupid. Yeah, okay.
Yeah, no, it would just be that.
Smart.
Yeah.
I'm telling you.
It'll be
She'd
good.
be back in a second. Back on top.
We're waiting for you, Paula.
Hey, lots of news happened this week. Not really, but man, check out this one. Did you pre-order an SNES Classic?
No.
Okay. Are you going to?
Nah.
I might. I'm pretty close.
It's not for lack of want. I've got a ton of other crap around here, and that is like I don't want to fight with it. I don't want to sit on the internet. I'm gonna get it.
Well, I've got my analog NT Mini for like Nintendo HD stuff.
Yeah.
I like the idea that this is until the SNES version of that comes along, I get an HD version of some SNES games that I can also play Star Fox 2. Mm-hmm. I'm kind of excited about that.
Yeah, no, legit. It's a good reason.
Anyways, if you didn't pre-order yours at Walmart and then summarily get it canceled, then even if you did that, I guess you can still get it pre-ordered again later this month when Nintendo said that they will finally be opening up pre-orders, or several retailers will be. So
pre-order it up, guys.
Look forward to that.
Yeah, I'm forward.
Maybe more interesting this week. We got some more Shadow of Wardor news. None of which saying that they've changed the title to that.
No.
That's okay.
Disappointing.
Number one, there's going to be some ranked online mode stuff. Well, there's going to be, I think, non-ranked stuff too, but there will also be a ranked version of these two things. One of them, they've said, is the Vendetta stuff, which I guess was in the original game. I totally forget.
Yeah, it was. It was just you'd see it on the map where, the beard died or was killed by so-and-so, and you can go and go and call that.
Avenge me!
Yes, call that orc out and say, "Hello, orc, I will avenge him." And then you'd avenge him, or you'd die. But the ranked stuff is new, and so it's called Social Conquest, and the whole idea here is that you're gonna set up after you've played through the game and you've captured fortresses, and you've got you've got your army kind of laid out in those bases. You can install an overlord and then captains, and then they'll have their minions with them, and you can upload this and people can go and fight it. And if they fight it and win, they gain levels, and you lose level, and they
loot.
You get loot. You get
followers, I think. Too.
Yeah, you can get followers and other chests, points, stuff like that.
Any dominated orcs won't come with you, but
right,
you get stuff still.
But everything you gain from the chests and all that goes with you. If winning is important because it does increase your game's levels. They're just
sounds cool. Sounds fun. Good, not fine idea.
I don't love this idea.
No? Okay.
No, and I don't love this because it goes hand in hand with the other thing they're doing is microtransactions, which are this is just let's put this out here first.
Okay.
No, you don't have to engage in the microtransactions. However, the way that they're laying this out here doesn't instill a lot of faith that the game is going to move at a crisp pace like the last one did without spending money. So that
would be the thing. Yeah, I mean, if we get this and the drip is much more of a drip than it was in the first game, then yeah, you're going to be like, screw you guys, right?
Right.
You made this harder because if it's the same as the last game, because the gameplay or the actual mechanic we're talking about here doesn't seem any different. In the first game, you still had to earn this currency that you then spent on your upgrade stuff, right? Remember that?
Yeah, kind of. Yeah.
Okay. Mithril, I think, was the stuff you built up.
Right. And but that was all for your abilities and stuff. Whereas here with the war chests and stuff that you can buy with gold, which you can get gold in game, but only in, they quote, small amounts during certain parts of the game, like participating in community challenges. and other mission aspects, but it doesn't sound like you're going to be getting a ton. And what you're going to get out of the war chests are followers, which will have different rarities. So you'll have super orcs and other stuff, different weapons that are going to have different stats. And the Monolith is quick to point out that gold is only meant to save players' times they'd otherwise spent fighting battles for loot, and will not offer players an advantage over other players, except if the ranked stuff actually matters in any meaningful way. Any of this stuff is going to be a pay to win in that mode, because you're immediately going to have upgraded stuff. You get all that crap, and then you go and beat the crap out of somebody's fortress, and now you've got a whole bunch of new loot. Cool. Your game is fast. Everybody else's is slow. Will it go that way? I mean, who knows? It's got all of the stuff that when you say pay to win, these are not the thing. These are the things that you talk about. It's stuff to increase Talion's strength and weapons and experience boosts, which I mean, that one not so much, but stuff that directly impact the game. They directly impact the character. It doesn't matter as much because it's not true multiplayer, but depending on how that ranked crap works, that could very well be an issue in that regard. And then on top of that, depending on how that all works, along with what the drip becomes, based on the fact that now you've got all this new stuff and gold and buying, I don't know, man. My interest level seriously is tanked on that. It's
really?
Yeah, because
tanked on the game or tanked on
the game. I am now. It's not a day one for me now. I want to see what it does. I want to see how this all works. Because if that grind is gonna suck, I'm not playing it, man. I love that first game. I don't want more grind than what that game had, because that was set well.
Yeah, no, I thought it was really well balanced.
Yeah,
I kind of trust Monolith more than I don't to do this right. I mean, that would be pretty blatant if you got it and there was an obvious difference. I mean, microtransactions are never like, you never smile when you hear that news, right? Nobody is ever like, oh yeah,
can't wait to buy things,
features. Yeah, no, it's that
value
sucks,
add.
Sure. This is honestly not that offensive to me, because it does introduce a thing where you can pay to get the good stuff. You can get the good stuff as you would normally by playing the game. Again, assuming that comes out at least as well balanced as it was last game. They've released a way where you can pay more money to not play the game. It's stupid. It's about as stupid as it gets. If you want to pay money to not play the game, that's fine. Like, this doesn't seem to me to be doing anything that like Halo 5 or Gears of War 4 did, where I believe those actual modes were seriously hampered by the way they instituted all that stuff.
Sure.
Like, so.
Well, and again, you're also going back to, those are true multiplayer, whereas this is not. This is a different story.
Well, I mean,
but
they employ microtransactions in a way that I feel like severely hampered that mode, period. Like, if they're going to do that and hamper the single player, we're talking about the same thing where then it's more of a grind, or it's not as well balanced, or whatever.
Okay. Yeah, agreed.
Then that I'm just saying it looks like that's not going to happen. But I don't know. It's whatever.
I don't know, man.
I kind of am of the mindset that I don't know how much that multiplayer is going to matter, really, anyways.
Well, and that's where I'm at. Like, I need to know that. I need to know how the game feels at this point. Like, I'm not because it's not that I don't trust Monolith. I don't trust Warner Brothers, and Warner Brothers is and it would not surprise me to find out that WB Games said, "Hey, put in microtransactions."
It's true, yeah.
Wouldn't shock me at all. But
no.
But if the game is significantly hampered by it, or even hampered to the point where the gameplay loop is now just drawn out just because of that, I'm probably not.
No,
that's a
yeah. No, totally agree. Yeah.
Yeah, I'll pick it up very used. eventually, maybe.
Gotcha.
But it doesn't matter. It's got some time to come out, and we'll see what Monolith comes back with. That there was a lot of backlash against this. A lot of people were pissed about it.
Sure.
Tons of articles about it. So we'll see what they do, and maybe they will come back with answers and responses in a similar manner to the lightning round.
Oh, I didn't even see it coming. There actually were more news items this week, but we just don't want to spend any time on them. So what if I say them to you in a rapid fire manner, and you say things back to me in a whatever kind of fire manner?
That sounds good. 30 seconds on the clock, please, Reykjavikians.
No. And Friday the 13th. Okay. Friday the 13th, the game, The Disc, officially gets to come out on Friday the 13th in October.
And that's cool. On Friday the 14th, nobody that has that disc will be able to play the game because there will be something wrong with the servers.
Man. EA Sports has announced that NBA Live 18 will, in fact, include all 12 teams from the WNBA.
And
and finally, the Destiny 2 PC beta is restricting some game capture and voice chat to combat cheaters.
It's also doing an excellent job of combating me, and I think they should restrict me more.
Are you a cheater?
I could be.
You're not, because you got that right. Good job.
Ding,
Perfect
ding, ding,
score.
Ding. Oh, cool. Hey, gays, what's up now? It's time for upcoming.
Say, hey, gays.
I didn't. Okay, hey, guys. It's upcoming games. Here's what's coming out very
That's
soon.
Fine. I mean,
yeah, it's yesterday. The Overwatch Summer Games event is back. New skin, stadium, Lucio balls coming. It's going to be competitively updated, and you could do stuff in it. So get your Lucio balls out and play with them.
all right.
On Thursday, Hearthstone, Knights of the Frozen Throne. I don't know what that game is.
No, nobody else does either.
And Tuesday the 15th,
This is the big one.
Agents of Mayhem. Woo! Needhog 2. Woo!
Nidhogg, that's fine. Oh, okay.
Night Trap 25th anniversary. Okay. Sonic Mania.
Yeah.
Cool.
That's a lineup right there.
Man.
Which one are you going to get?
Not Trap any. I'm not getting any of them. But I am going to spend plenty of time this week playing video games like Paragon. I'll be playing Fortnite as well. Fortnite Fridays. I think
Paragon Pwn Days.
Yeah, and Prey. I forgot to mention that I did boot Prey up for a little bit. I'm getting back into that. Not a lot to say about it, but I'm really excited about playing that. So
that's good. Gotta keep it up.
Yeah. So what are you going to play this week?
Infinite Warfare,
yep,
Call of Duty.
Definitely.
And then I'm going to finish Darkwing Duck, and then I've got 2 more DuckTales 2, Chippendales 2.
Okay, I should try and finish Darkwing this week too.
Maybe, I don't know. You could live before the final boss. There's a trick to the final boss, actually. Yeah. When you've got upset enough, you come to me.
I'm on my way. I'm already angry, so...
and probably Advanced Warfare 2. I actually did play a little bit more of the zombies mode. There's another achievement for getting 2 guns up to level 20, and I'm working on a method, but I might just need somebody else. I might need to play with somebody else.
Boo!
Yeah. But something else. I'll play some other things. You'll see. It'll be great. We'll talk about it. Are we gonna stream?
We should. I think we should. Hey, we were going to do Forza last week, so why don't we do it?
It's not fair for me to ask.
This week?
No, I messed it up. Yeah. I take full responsibility.
Take Forza responsibility. We'll play some Blizzard Mountain on Thursday.
Okay. All right. Yes.
Hey, you know
tomorrow.
What? While you're waiting for us to play Blizzard Mountain, and I know you're just sitting at your computer, frothing at the mouth, just drooling all over your keyboard, thinking, I wanted the 0 hit pointers. I'm going to watch it.
It's not fair. You can see me.
Before you do that, why don't you head over to 0hitpoints.com, take a listen to another podcast that we've done, like the last week's.
Whatever.
The week before, 2 weeks ago. Don't go back too far. Calm down.
Listen to this podcast.
Yeah, definitely.
It's okay.
Listen to this one and then go back.
Actually, maybe last week. Last week's is really good. I'll come right out and say it.
It was good.
I thought last week's episode was one of the best.
Fantastic. Top tier.
Top 5 to 10.
Yeah.
This one,
we'll see. You know what?
Yeah.
We're probably in top 38,
we'll see.
90.
It's not done yet.
Whatever. Check out. We're on Instagram at the 0 hit points, twitter.com at 0_H_P. The YouTubes, we make videos. They go there.
Facebook.
We do have something there, I think.
MySpace.
Also, yep. My
Friendster.
Face. Yep.
Yeah.
Grind-
I was just talking about my face. Yeah.
Grinder. Casual Encounters.
Star Wars Galaxies.
Merc. We're everywhere you want to be.